shit, I should go on this cruise and hang out with Daughtry. Hang out with Elvia all day.
Daughtry having a cruise?
When your old career gives you lemons, throw in some ice, mix in some vodka, and call it a podcast. From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport, and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Welcome. Thanks for getting your pod on. Thanks for telling a friend. That's how we spread the word about the pirate ship, as the ship talking has already begun. Because I said to Danny, I go, Danny, you were the first one to say that the Bills will go 17-0. You said, I did not say that. I said they will be favored in all 17 games.
Yes.
And they could potentially, possibly go 17-0.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah, they're the only team in the NFL.
Put your name on it. Like Herm Edwards said, put your name on it.
They're the only team in the NFL that is favored in every single game so far now.
And that's June or May.
Congratulations.
You don't even know what month it is.
You won the Super Bowl. Print those tickets, baby.
Kevin just is.
Nobody's a more cynical Bills fan than I am.
Print the tickets. You're going, Greg.
But
Dan said so.
But hang on a second. You know, as he's going to make fun and say that it's only May. It's only May. Where were you? Where did you go this past weekend?
Connecticut?
No. Where did you go? Why did you leave early?
We went because we were supposed to go in March.
Yeah,
we were supposed to do a tournament in Springfield.
Well, yeah.
And Tyler's wanted to see Gillette Stadium because I've taken pictures a bunch of times.
Look at this. He's blaming his kid.
I'll get him on the phone right now. He wanted to go. That was his one thing. He wanted to go.
I'm sure he did. But
I wanted to go to Trader Joe's, so it worked out.
There's a Trader Joe's here in town.
Not that sells alcohol.
Not that sells alcohol. The Trader Joe's.
They have their own special alcohol.
Yeah, they do. And it's cheaper.
And it's amazing.
And it's pretty good.
Oh, okay.
And it's like people who go to Costco and stuff. I know, Mr. Health Nut over there.
No,
I don't drink. It's all poison. I'm not putting the poison in my body.
No, I mean, if that's what you're
Irish have survived this long. Wants another bottle. But no, he wants.
What's that joke? If it were for alcohol, the Irish would have taken over the world.
That's it, exactly. God damn it! You know what I'm saying?
We went when he was little. He was like 1.5, and Sam was small. My uncle lived when he lived in Boston.
They must not remember that.
He didn't remember it, so he wanted to see it again.
Yeah.
So we went up a day early.
But what's going on at the stadium? Like, do they make it interactive? I'm curious because don't forget, this is the last season for the Buffalo Bills at Highmark. They go into the new stadium, and I do wonder if there'll be like year-round. I don't know. You can come in and have like a little walkway or a Hall of Fame or
that was the idea. Like
it
years ago, that was the idea because that's what the Packers did. That's what everybody was doing.
Yeah,
like little malls, shops, and all the other stuff, all the accoutrements that come with the stadium. That was the idea. They did it in Boston. They did it, but what happened was, when the Jets and Giants combined for a stadium, the land cost so much money that all they could do was we're just going to build a stadium. That's it. That's all we can do.
In New York.
Right. In the Meadowlands.
In the Meadowlands,
New Jersey. So in Buffalo, it's kind of the same thing. That's all we're going to do right now is build the stadium. We'll try to do the rest as we go.
Yeah.
But the idea, because like what they really want to do is the Jerry World idea, which is not just a stadium, but a hotel and a golf course and a mall.
Do they have that?
There's 2 hotels. There's a full outdoor mall.
Who owns the hotels?
I think Kraft owns the whole thing, doesn't he?
I don't know if Kraft owns the hotels. I know he owns the
property.
So I don't know.
Fuck that alone, right?
Right.
I mean,
He owns it's like McDonald's.
He owns
It's like
everything
McDonald's
within a
model.
mile radius of the stadium.
He what?
He owns everything within a mile radius of the stadium.
Wow. Okay.
Including the rub down joints, Bill.
That was one of my favorites.
They can't charge me because I own it.
So they've got obviously a ginormous team store.
Yeah.
And that's got their Patriots Hall of Fames attached to it. And then they also allow you can go up onto the big lighthouse they built that overlooks the field.
Did not know this.
It was closed. We were there Thursday for a private event.
You could light your cigarettes with it. That's how
No.
close you get.
No, but it's a lighthouse that overlooks
the lighthouse that they built to overlooks the stadium.
Yeah, it's got
Wow.
like a flame, right?
No,
Oh, okay, never mind.
that's
I'm thinking of
that's
Vegas.
LA or Vegas.
Vegas has the flame.
But that was Friday. It was
Is it like all glass enclosure then?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
and then Friday it was closed because they had Kendrick Lamar coming in on Monday.
Yeah.
So they were getting all the stuff set, and Kendrick's people wouldn't let anybody see the stage or the
Yeah,
setup and anything
yeah,
like that. They were
yeah.
all. But
Yeah,
you could stand right next to the team store and look into the stadium and see everything.
He was lining up all of his Drake diss tracks too. Brand new.
It's probably good. Yeah, maybe we can throw in one of Jameson's discs.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But we were staying at the hotel right in Patriot Place.
You were.
And it was the same hotel that they had all the rookies and all the undrafted kids coming in, and they were all staying at the same hotel.
Oh wow.
So we had gone to dinner and we came back, and Carrie was being Carrie. So I said, I'm going to go down to the bar.
What does that
What does that mean? Yeah, I was gonna say.
What does that
She
mean?
folding clothes.
Y'all are married. You're
No,
married.
no,
you were
no,
married.
I don't know what that means at all. I think Carrie's a lovely woman. Kevin, want to dig? Can I give you a shovel? No.
So
I
I'm
get
like, I'm going to go down to the bar, the hotel, and watch
Yeah.
the hockey game.
okay.
So it's literally just me because it's a Thursday night and there's
There's
nothing
nobody
really going
yeah,
on.
right.
So I'm talking to the bartender, and he's like, "Oh yeah, all the rookies are here. They're all playing. They just can't pick them all up on. They have like these big sprinter type trucks,
Okay,
buses,
yeah,
things that they
yep.
were bringing them back and forth with." And he goes, "Yeah." So I texted Tyler. I go, "Come down to the lobby, watch the hockey game with me." And he comes down. And I go, "The bartender just told me that all the players are staying here that are in town for their rookie camp. Maybe we'll see some players."
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, two sprinter trucks roll up, and out jump a bunch of players.
Anybody
all
you
decked out.
recognize? Like, I don't think I'd recognize it.
The first couple rounds, no.
Yeah.
I mean, they all had their backpacks on. It was
Yeah.
like Townsend State and
Yeah.
all
Definitely.
D3 kids that are.
Yeah, because they got to film mini camp practice, rookie camp practice. So they bring in
so-
guys who aren't even going to make the team just to like.
yeah. But
you
what
know,
a thrill for those
Oh, it
guys
is.
when you think about it,
Like
right?
the Bills like brought in a YouTube quarterback like 10 years ago. He was like one of these YouTube trick shot artists. I
Really?
think his name was Andy Corp or something like that. He didn't
I
make
didn't
the
know that.
team, but
Yeah.
they had to have practice. So
Interesting.
they bring in a lot of people.
So we're sitting there, and I'm drinking as I go. So I probably $50 into the night. Not at that point overall for the entire night.
hotels are a little more
Right.
expensive, right?
So I'm. It's not like I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs waiting for players to walk through.
No, you're
So
watching
they
the
walk
game.
through, and I said, "Tyler, go. They want to take a picture with you." So we go over, we get 3 or 4 of the guys, and they're happier than shit to be recognized.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all nobodies,
Yeah.
and they're just happy. They're smiling. They're taking pictures with Tyler. The hotel manager comes over. She goes, "Yeah, you can't do that. You can't ask these guys for stuff. We're not really doing anything. We're just asking them for pictures.
Yeah.
We don't have a binder full of stuff and 6 footballs and saying, hey,
Which, by the way, happens.
can you sign
Oh,
up?
yeah, it does.
Like, it's a kid, his favorite team, and he's got players. He just wants to take a picture. They're just standing at the elevator waiting to go up. It's not like they're
Yeah.
doing anything.
Yeah.
And so I said the next round of buses, I go, go out front. So we walk out front, and we're taking a couple more pictures, and she goes, "You're okay out here."
I can't control you.
Why in the hotel?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So we
Was
did a-
she afraid that?
there was nobody.
Yeah.
I cannot. I mean, I can understand, and I
Well, I wonder
trust
if
me.
they
I've worked
have
in
an-
hotels. I get it.
Yeah.
There was a Patriot security person kind of standing there too, but she didn't say anything to us.
I just wonder if they made a deal like, hey, we'll make sure that the guys aren't
Harassed.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not.
If you want to stay in this hotel, or
Well,
if you
like-
want us to use your hotel, you better keep this on
It-
lockdown.
it could
Which is
be.
why I'm thinking that Kraft may have a say in the hotel because
Sure.
they're right, obviously
Yeah.
right there. But I'm like, if there was I get it. If there was a bunch of people there and
Yeah.
pocketing them for autographs,
But she was nice about it.
She wasn't inside. She was nicer outside.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, the last bus comes through and it's got Will Campbell on it, who's the number 4 overall pick.
Right.
And Ted's like, "Oh my God, it's Will Campbell. It's Will Campbell." So we just get up and turn around and look. She's like, "I will call security and we will have you thrown out of here."
Really?
In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, whatever. And I'm like, I thought about it afterwards. Like, Tyler, we should have just gotten on the elevator and gone, we're just going to our room
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
and done it. But, and then as the night went on, a couple of them trickled back down. They were kind of mingling in the lobby, going over, whatever the coaching staff gave them paperwork wise and playbook wise and stuff like that. So they were just kind of sitting there. We didn't bother him, but like I said, it's a kid. I mean, if it was me, I could say, yeah, I understand. But
So she didn't want. She knew that Will Campbell was on one of the buses.
I'm sure that I don't know if she knew, but it was all the players.
Yeah. So once you got up in the hotel, she said it again.
We just got it. We were literally at the bar, and they were across the lobby at the elevator.
Yeah.
And Tyler's like, I just want to see him.
Yeah.
So Tyler went and slid into his DMs on Instagram.
Yeah.
Said, hey, they yelled at us. If you have any interest in coming down, I would love to take a picture with you.
Yeah.
I don't think he got a response, but it was worth it.
Worth a shot.
It's worth a
Shoot
shot.
your shot. Okay. Interesting that this woman would be like, okay, outside, not okay inside, and then like really clamping down.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
I'll get you thrown out of this hotel.
I don't think she knew.
You in what army, bitch?
I don't know if she knew if we were staying there or not.
Yeah.
So that might have been something to do with it too.
Oh. Yeah.
But I was like, whatever. I don't. Just be a bitch. It's a kid.
How old a person was she?
Probably late 20s, early 30s.
Oh, so younger. And
Working
the
her way up
manager.
the hotel chain.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, you're sort of
Someday
that
I'm gonna run
craft.
all the Hiltons.
all the craft.
Yeah.
That stuff. Yeah, it's weird the power people get when there is nothing to be powered over.
You
know what I mean?
The guy that was driving the bus, he come over, he's standing at the bar watching a hot game with us for a few minutes, just shooting the breeze with us,
Right.
like nothing's going on.
Right.
He's the one that said, watch out, we're on the fucking revenge tour this year. We're coming for everybody.
Yeah. I'm sure. Well, you gotta. I mean, Danny even said yesterday the team that he is concerned about is New England because Vrabel is a great coach, or is a coach who can turn things around quickly and get the guys to buy in. I don't know. Like the whole thing looks impossible to me. The older I get, the more I watch the NFL or I watch professional sports in general, and I go, it's fucking amazing. It's amazing what we can do. And, to see one guy have a bad night and then everybody jump all over him and they suck. And then like last night, some guy who's been sort of a journeyman in the NBA for the Celtics had like 8 block shots and or maybe 8 3-pointers and 6 block shots, whatever it was. I mean, but significantly game-changing moments that this guy had. And they're all like, he's been a journeyman. Yeah, because it's fucking hard. It's like really hard.
Or you got the Maple Leafs who were expected to blow Florida out of the series,
right.
and they got hammered last night, and the fans are throwing jerseys on the ice.
Right. And it's like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but it looks tough. And I think you can learn a lot from sports, for exactly that. Overcoming it, pushing through. Next day's another day, sort of that goldfish mind of wins and losses. But
it was just weird seeing someone came in with just backpacks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like some of it looked like they had come right from the airport.
Really, all
to
their
the practice facility. They were rolling in with suitcases.
Yeah.
And the binder that they rolled out, and they were sitting looking through. I'm like, this is you've been in the organization for 4 hours.
My favorite thing,
and you got this binder that's this thick, and you probably have to know it by tomorrow.
Yeah. Here's the thing I would love to say to these guys. Like they went through the lobby and have everybody come down and go, give me 3 things you noticed in the lobby as you walk through. And I bet most of these guys probably couldn't because they're so focused on where, you know what I mean? Like, talk about being in the moment or seeing or whatever, or just sort of enjoying the moment. Hey, I got this far. I'm only walking around. Let me enjoy this. I know that I got work.
And that's the ones we got pictures with. They were absolutely, they were like, absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
Having a big smile.
Yeah. Enjoy that moment. But I bet you, I would think majority of the people could not give you 3 things that they noticed in the lobby as they walk through. And think of ourselves.
A drunk at the bar watching hockey, a twat manager, and a kid.
Okay.
Those are the 3 things I noticed.
Yeah.
You're the Bob Ross of words.
I was just gonna say. I was trying to think of an alliteration. What could I get? What could I get that would go with twat? But then for Kevin,
let's paint an angry little manager here. There we go. Let's give her a friend. No, it's not.
And then the kid. That's pretty. That's frustrating, isn't it? It just sometimes these things don't make sense, and you wish that people would use better judgment.
Like I said, I get it. I've worked in hotels. You don't want people mingling, but it's 2 people.
Yeah.
If there was 50, I could see, we need to push this outside or whatever.
Right.
But I'm not even hocking. Tyler's day. I would have probably taken a picture with Will Campbell.
Hey, lady. no one thinks much of New England anymore.
I should have told her. Do you know who I am? I'm on a fucking podcast, lady.
Yeah, I'm on a podcast. Me and half the
Do you know Greg Connors?
half the fucking world is on podcasts. You know what I mean? That was
Do you know Doug Phelps?
You know, it's funny because somebody was saying something to me
Has
about.
he played your handicap stall lately?
They did. Somebody was. I was hearing somebody go, "Yeah, man, I know somebody who's got a podcast and they get like 500,000 downloads." I go, "That's really great." And they said,
Is it Joe Rogan?
No. And they said, no, they've really been growing and stuff like that. And they go, what are you getting? I go, I'm not getting that. I said, but the downloads aren't necessarily listens. Your listens are probably a little bit lower than that. And they're like, yeah, well, I go, look, anytime anybody can get an audience and maintain an audience. I mean, that was the whole game in radio, was to get an audience. That's why you kept the job, because you were able to keep an audience. If you couldn't keep an audience, you didn't keep a job.
Right.
I mean, how many people did we see get fired through over the years?
Been there.
Couldn't keep an audience. I didn't.
I'm just joking.
The timing of that statement didn't come out right. And I'm like, but the podcast world is different, and it's a slightly different game, but it's an attention game. And if people like you, they'll like you. If they don't, they don't. But you can't go sweating that shit.
No.
You just can't. I don't know.
Do you want to play Guess How Much I Spent on Alcohol at Trader Joe's? You want to wait till our guest comes on and let him play too?
Blatnick. Gonna play Blatnick.
Blatnick's a new game. Did you hear?
I heard
last night. Holy shit, Kevin! Like 20. And the only thing, like, I didn't have enough time to edit and put.
I'm wondering if they're all in cars or if he's had like maybe a lawnmower, maybe a bike.
That's a fair question.
Maybe one of those
scooters.
Those like
fair question.
cooler scooters.
Very fair question. But I didn't know you could get one
of
in
those riding
1970.
suitcases.
Yeah,
1974. I didn't think you could get them. I didn't think they were given DWIs or whatever OVI.
I'm sure in the sticks they do. Out through in 5. DWI's been around.
I thought the sticks would be easier.
70.
Like, all right, Charles, I'm taking you home.
Let me tell you. Yeah, me too.
Your wife's
No, they
gonna
need
hear
that
about
money.
this.
Well, okay, but
That's why they give out taillight
the
like
sticks,
tickets.
right? But I grew up in the sticks.
Me too.
I don't remember anybody getting a DWI until it happened to someone very close to me in the year of our Lord 1989. Okay, that was the first time I knew somebody who had one.
Oh, John Paul DWI. All right.
Yes, and yeah, and maybe there was some kid prior to that who had one. I don't remember. Yeah, there might have been one in like 87, 88, but 70s. The 70s, I thought the story was usually the cops would say, "Hey, I'll follow you home."
That's what my father said.
I don't think your father's wrong. I heard that from
that was the talk.
That was the talk from my father. My grandfather was New York City Fire. Hey, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? So
if you got into trouble, they wouldn't like send you to jail. They say, just go home. Go home. We'll follow you home. We'll bring you home. But
yeah,
we're not gonna like waste the court's
then
time.
Our friend Toothless Eddie pulled in the driveway and got a DWI.
Hey man, they got the disco lights on.
They put what's his name in prison all the time on the Andy Griffith show.
Yeah, Otis. Well, Otis had his key. He would let himself
Otis
in.
was always drunk.
Otis would let himself in and just lay down and dry out.
We can ask our guests when they started DWIs. He'll tell us.
Well,
he might know.
Yeah, he might. I just didn't think, because Madden stuff didn't come around that I remember till the early 80s, but it could have been the late 70s that something happened. And
Madden came around with Dare. That was all Nancy Reagan.
In the 90s.
I don't remember Dare for me.
No, you didn't have it. You didn't have it. That was my generation.
I think I was too old for Dare.
It was all Nancy Reagan.
And they found out that Dare was, that was exactly what it was. We got to give the first lady something to do.
Yeah.
And it was AIDS. Oh, we can't do AIDS. No. Let's do something else. Drugs. Okay, great. Just say no. And so they started there.
Maybe Magic wouldn't.
And they found out it was ineffective.
Well, it
didn't work.
They used to have the dietary supplement AIDS.
AIDS, yeah. And that AIDS killed AIDS.
Yes, it did, basically.
Yeah.
Put it right out.
AIDS. Yes, it killed. Yeah, I looked it up, actually.
I feel great and lost so mumuch weight thanks to AIDS. Those were the ads. I'm going to dig it up.
And South Park brought it
was
back.
Still around, I'd be wanting a supplement list.
Because the idea was it was taking candy, right? And losing weight by taking candy.
Yes.
But who wouldn't want to do that?
Right.
You know?
100%.
And they found out also if that stuff had stuck around, it'd be incredibly poisonous. that's another issue. But the dare thing, he's right about that. In my school, like we had a kid die in a drunk driving accident. So immediately then we became the poster children for anti-DWI education in the school. And at one point, I don't know if you saw this.
And unfortunately, nobody cared because it was Silver Creek.
Somebody did a commercial recently with Aaron Judge, because Aaron Judge had gotten into a car accident, I guess, in high school.
Graduation rate. The success of graduates.
Well, there's a story they reenacted. They reenacted a DWI at my school using the car of the kid who died from our school in the DWI. It didn't tell anybody until it happened. And the family was pretty furious.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd be furious too. It was ridiculous. But they did the commercial recently where like Aaron Judge, I guess, got into a car accident in high school. Imagine if you were hit by a drunk driver and killed. They show them zipping up the body bag. Imagine what we would have lost. Like, somebody actually thought enough to do this type of commercial. You got to go this far.
Yeah.
I know you want to put a face to the pain, but holy cow.
Did Hal Steinbrenner come out and say we've lost 250 home runs and we've saved $500 million?
It created some controversy.
Well, I remember working with a morning guy when I started in radio. I was like in my late teens, early 20s. It was Bob Wolf was his name. And he did a whole thing where he was out doing a remote and they come on from the studio. A drunk driver hit the mobile home rock and roll. We don't know what's happened to Bob and blah, blah. And so they build this thing up. And then at the end, it's like, ta-da. And I got the idea of why you would do this, right? To do that, but it was so shitty.
Yes.
You're doing bits? They were doing bits?
They were doing bits. Well, the point was to try to make people realize the impact that happens with DWI.
It's like that
because when you're out drinking,
Christmas
you're not thinking of exactly.
It's like the number 7 train.
Yeah.
But you think like you're not thinking that, Hey, one more. Come on. Nah, I really got to get it. Come on. All right, fine. Twist my arm. You know what I mean? And then you stay. And then what happens? Right. I mean, I think they do some great commercials or PSAs now where they're like, the guy in the mirror is like, you better not drive. I'm okay to drive. He's talking to himself. And it's,
They had the casket.
Then he rolls down the window and the fucking martini spills out.
Yeah.
They had the casket in my school with a mirror where your face should be. And you look in and you see your face in the mirror of the casket of.
These things are like psychologically. I'm sorry.
We had 5 different kids die or get into DWI related accidents in my high school. Hold on. It gets even worse. They actually did a chain of people like before the school year started on a piece of construction paper. I will not drink and drive. They put a chain up, right?
Yeah.
And of course the kid who breaks it dies. So they have to go and cut the chain in front of everybody as an example where the kid signed it. I mean, it didn't stop the last 4 kids.
Well,
I mean,
it seems like
it only stopped Danny.
It's weird. Like, I don't think they would ever do that today. They're a little more sensitive.
No,
maybe
parents would lose their fucking mind.
Maybe too sensitive, but to even have
way too sensitive.
But
that's still a little extreme,
isn't it?
Yes,
a little bit. Like to even have the coffin.
If you have to motivate kids to not be stupid, then guess what?
Well, hang on, Danny. You do. You gotta motivate.
But go to that extreme.
I mean, hang on a second. I was one of those dumb kids. I raced. I stood on the roofs of cars. I went 100 miles an hour.
Okay.
I did every dumb. No.
He was Stephanie Eyed before Stephanie Eyed car surfing.
Yeah, not. I did not car surf like that, but we did car surf. That's dumb shit. Like if I saw my guys doing that, I'd be very, very upset. All the stuff that we did, you just have this invincibility, this feeling like it's never going to happen to me. Thankfully, it didn't. But I would say that there was a lot of dumb.
Mm.
When I think of things, a lot of dumb. I don't tell my guys some of that stuff.
There's still a lot of dumb. I still do dumb shit.
No, I do dumb shit too, but I think especially young guys, you take a guy between 14 and 18, that's why they send them off to war. And don't tell me there weren't guys 14 years old in World War I and II, because there was.
There were.
Yes.
Because those people who the oldest living
survivor.
Those oldest.
And when they got shot, they put the helmet up on the auditorium.
But Silver Creek was like Pine Plains. I just don't remember Pine Plains being that intense.
Oh yeah, because every other year somebody died.
Well, we had
in my
people
school.
die.
So
I mean,
we gotta do this again.
I can think of my buddies.
We had 2 kids hit by trains, one on purpose, one because he was playing chicken, and 5 different DWIs where 4 kids died and one got both of his legs broken.
Yeah.
That was
Sounds
Silver
like we
Creek.
might need to
That was
invest-
just when I was in the area. This is just before, like, I got out of college.
We might need to investigate what the educational level of a Silver Creek is, because clearly it's not that high.
Well, what do you mean?
You got kids playing chicken with trains.
Yes. Well, that's a kid thing,
dumb.
though. It's like a farmer.
There's nothing to do.
That's what they
So
did.
what they would do, they get a plastic bottle of alcohol, pass it around and drink,
Yeah.
or smoke some joints, and then go get stupid.
It is.
Or get stupid more,
That's
and
what
do
we
all that
did.
stuff and get stupider.
And I remember doing
I never did that stuff.
Stupider.
well, I did
Oh, yeah.
I did things like that. Chicken, not
Mhm.
chicken with a train, but
Got a bottle of Mr. Boston?
no, but I did
You played
drink.
penis chicken.
I got old German.
Bill, are you
beer.
playing?
Yes, Dan. Can't you tell? Old German beer was one that I remember. It was like some awful shit beer that you could get real cheap.
Meisterbrow.
Yeah, Meister Chow was another one. We called it Meister Chow.
Golden Annie.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of like dumb shit that went on in Pine Plains, because I had friends. Chris McCucci was killed in a motorcycle accident. Chris Maisie was killed in a motorcycle accident. One of my really good friends growing up was killed after high school. I was in Utah at the time. He was 19. He was killed in a DWI. There was a DWI.
How is Hilton the big city of the fucking three of us here? God damn.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Because you were attached to a bigger city.
No, Hilton was.
You know what I'm saying?
By
Like, we were
comparison.
like on our own.
Yeah, I didn't even have a Burger King or a McDonald's. or anything within-
We didn't get a McDonald's till I was in middle school.
Yeah, we got a
Late
Burger
middle
King in like 89, and then we didn't get a McDonald's till like 2010.
All right, let me let's take a quick break. Our friend, because all this drinking, we are going to do our own thing, not as
what?
graphic and gross.
I'm gonna do some stupid shit Sunday.
Oh,
But we're
okay.
going to do some stuff, and Deputy Hurley from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office is going to join us. We also want to talk about why they are photocopying the mail at the Monroe County Jail. If
Uh-oh.
you send an inmate something, they won't get the original; they get a copy. We'll tell you why. right
Dear
after
Rufus.
this. Sorry, Hurley. We'll be there in a minute.
Oh, you're good. How's everything look? I got a new laptop, so
What's that?
I said I got a. Is the sound and everything okay?
Yeah. And
All
look at
right.
how handsome you are. You got your big. What does that say behind you? Something about together. Together.
I don't know. I have to ask my wife.
Uh,
Want me to take it down? Does it look gay?
No. Does it look gay? Yes, it does. That's why I want you to leave it there. Do not take it down. Do not. Oh
Done.
my God.
Done.
I was kidding. I was kidding. She's
No,
going to
done.
kill you. All
No,
right.
I'll put
Hang
it
on.
back up.
Hang on again. Oh, that's funny.
Uh-oh. Oh, good. I know.
Now there's a big nail above your eye.
I love the screen on this laptop. It's like grainy.
It looks small.
It is small, but it's supposed to be fast.
Hopefully then.
It's still working.
How about this
only song done on.
Just wait, you'll know. You'll know.
Highway run into the midnight sun.
Willie.
Yeah.
Gets better.
Wheels go round
Or
and
worse.
round. You're on my mind.
See, now I would love this.
Wait.
I would love this. People would hate to ride in the car with me because I would love this.
Restless hearts sleep alone.
Give it a couple seconds.
Tonight. Sending all my love along the wire.
They say the road ain't no place to start a family.
Hang on a second.
Right down the line, it's been you
and me.
and me.
I
That's
recognize
not
this voice.
Steve Perry, is it?
Oh my gosh!
Money always
Well, he's almost hitting it.
to be.
He's almost hitting it.
Oh, girl.
That's why he won't go back on tour with Journey anymore.
Yeah, but
Stand by me.
you found somebody with a worse voice and a bigger name.
I gotta be honest with you. This makes Joe Mercado a rock and roll Hall of Famer.
Fuck you. This is great. I love this. How horrible is it? Oh, that is best. Hang on a second.
That's why when Journey got inducted in the Rock Hall of Fame, I think in 2017 with Pearl Jam, I believe they wanted him to get up and sing, and he said no. This is Arnel Pineda's band now. The
Okay.
reason is because he can't do it.
Yeah, but hang on a second now, Danny. As a musician,
Need the clowns to make us smile.
is it bad? Do you hate this?
Oh, I hate it.
Okay, hang on a second. Information director for the Monroe County Sheriff's Deputy Hurley.
Would you pull this bus over?
Yeah, because it's Willie Nelson.
Would they pass?
It looks like he just elected a pope. There'll be white smoke coming out everywhere.
Hurley coming with the jokes early. I love it.
Didn't he used to drive a Volkswagen bus that was fueled on like French fry oil or something like that?
I don't know if that.
If that story was I don't know.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know. Could it? It sounds like it's plausible.
By the way, you can
Sounds like he got French fries in his mouth right now.
You know how like Adam Sandler would always use that voice
Yes.
to sing a song?
Yeah,
You could imagine Adam Sandler singing with Willie Nelson in
that
this
would
tune.
be funny.
Don't touch
Where
the
did you
hiney.
find this? Kevin?
It just came out. It's a brand new release.
Really? Yeah, because Willie's sounding. What is he? 90? 91? I think he's 90.
He's not.
Yeah, between Willie and Keith Richards, man.
Shut up. Bite your fucking
Oh,
tongue.
gosh.
Bite your tongue. Bite your tongue.
Keith Richards' father, Willie Nelson.
Deputy Hurley has been kind enough to join us. A lot going on for the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. I did see an alert for a missing 17-year-old in Henrietta that the Monroe County Sheriff's had put out, and I'm sure working with other agencies and things trying to find. Hopefully those things turn into a situation of a frustrated kid who just took a walk. You know.
Yeah, and I try to explain it all the time. Anytime, especially with a juvenile, that we have somebody missing, reported missing, right? It doesn't necessarily mean they're in danger, but if they're not where they're supposed to be and their loved one is concerned about them, we're going to put it out because we can't be everywhere. So if someone in the community sees that person, they call us. It helps us get them back to where they need to be. That's why we put them all out.
Yeah. I called Deputy Hurley a while ago, and then we have something that they've agreed to do with us, which I'm excited about. We'll
Well,
get to
I don't
this.
think he agreed to it. I think his boss agreed to it for
No.
him.
Can I say though that it's a lovely Together is our favorite place to be is slightly crooked now because
Yeah.
I
You're
was
right. I got yelled at.
did
I wasn't
you
even on yet, and I got yelled at.
by whom?
Who do you think?
Your wife? She yelled at you for taking it down.
I hope he brings Mrs. Hurley on Sunday and she
I
just
hope-
kicks the shit out of you.
Oh, she will. She goes, now there's just a big nail behind your head.
She's the best. She's
Hey,
the
speaking real quick, sorry to interrupt, but
No,
speaking
please.
of the missing juvenile out of Henrietta, breaking news here on Vilified. Just got the email. He was found and returned home.
good.
Where'd they
See,
find
that's what I'm saying. A frustrated kid is what I'm
Yep.
hoping.
Stevie T's.
Okay.
Get a plate.
All right.
Hungry.
There's a ton of restaurants in Henrietta. I live there.
Can I ask a question about that? Do they say how old the juvenile was? I thought they gave an
17.
age. 17. Okay. A
Yep,
little bit.
it's on there.
I'm gonna pay better attention when I'm driving down West Henrietta Road because there's people walking up and down that road all the time on the shoulder all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, you! Are you missing?
No, I see this story that comes out about, I think it was to the Monroe County Jail. They intercepted mail that had, I don't know, LSD. I can't think of some kind of liquid drug put on the envelope so the inmates would then either lick it or something. Maybe Ozempic. It could be. I'm not sure. But it originated in Poughkeepsie. Like this woman in Poughkeepsie, and I think she sent it to several different prisons. It sounded like she had a little cottage. It's tough.
Marge's pen pals.
Tough out there for my mom. But no, I'm going. It almost sounded like this woman had a cottage industry, because I thought it went to Deputy Hurley. Tell me if I'm wrong. Several different institutions that she was sending to, not just Monroe County Jail or somewhere in the vicinity.
It's very possible. I don't know all the particulars of this case that you're referencing.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's people who are pen pals with murderers, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if somebody just decided to send drugs.
Hey, look, the Menendez brothers are going to get parole because they've now been 50 years to life.
Yeah.
Dear John Hinckley Jr.
No, but they got married and divorced while in prison. Just want to say that they got married and divorced while in prison.
They knew they were getting out. They didn't want to put up the woman's shit.
I don't know. They've been divorced for a while, and I think maybe married twice. I'm not sure.
Wow.
But yes,
Two-time loser in jail. Nice.
Right.
Now they can get out and watch the Knicks again.
Yeah, oh God, if they could go reenact. Did you know that, Hurley, that the Menendez brothers are in a trading card, a Mark Jackson trading card? They're sitting courtside in the back.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Days after the murder.
Days after the murder. And they're in New York. Like crazy.
Absolutely.
But yes, it's an interesting thing. So to combat this, you guys were pretty on top of it.
Yeah, it actually was a fight for a little while with the state, because they're always trying to find new ways to get contraband in, and obviously drugs are a big part of that. So they would soak letters with all different kinds of liquids, and then you mail it to the inmate gets it, or the incarcerated individual, and then they can either ingest it, smoke it. There's all different ways that they can then get their hands on that drug. So
Peppermint. Ooh.
So what we came up with is now they photocopy every piece of mail, and if it's just
Hall of Fame.
It's a fax. If it's personal mail, it's just photocopied, and then the photocopy is given to the incarcerated individual. If it's legal mail, like from their attorney, it's photocopied right in front of them so that there's no mistaking.
Oh, that's yeah.
Does my birthday card still get colored color print, or is it black and white?
No, we'll do color.
Nice.
Yeah.
For real?
More taxpayer dollars.
How much mail do inmates get while they're in there?
A lot.
Really?
A lot. And we get phone calls and emails all the time of I want to send my loved one, this or that, or a book or whatever. How do I do it? And there is a way to do it. You can have it through a vendor that will then send it. But say like if you order something through like a Walmart, it can't be a local Walmart, because we've run into that in the past as well, where someone at a local store was then lacing the books or product with things, and then it was going to the jail. So
holy shit,
they're incredibly smart, and if they can only use that for good.
Yeah, I always say that all the time. If you could only use your powers for evil for good,
Gonna use my Amazon Prime to get it there in 2 days.
But I would never think like, hey man, I'm gonna soak War and Peace in LSD, and when you're done, you can smoke it, or you know what I mean,
When
or
you get to page 6,
hash oil or whatever. Yeah, it's like, you know what I mean. I would never think of that.
It's like the old school library. Go to page 73 for boobs.
Yes, yes.
When you're in elementary school.
Yes,
and that's the cleaner way to smuggle things in.
Yeah. Oh, I know. The other way is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, that orifice can stretch bigger and bigger and bigger.
I'll do my part someday. Why don't we see if we can get you to keister something?
No,
someday?
I am not keistering anything.
Where there's a will, there's an A.
Yeah.
Hole.
Oh wow, something just popped up. I'm not available anymore.
Somebody tried to.
See if you can keister a Guinness can.
No, I was going to say someone tried to smuggle a watermelon filled with vodka into the prison. Could you imagine, like, people stick things like that in there?
I'm sure that people will come in like that with a watermelon, something like that. Oh, I'm just pregnant.
Yeah.
So they will actually come into visits and have things secreted in their mouth, and then try to kiss the incarcerated individual and pass things through their mouth. And that's why they have to be watched. And there's rules about touching and kissing and all that stuff. They're very creative with how they try to smuggle things in.
You know, I just have to say on another note here, what is this lovely thing
It was
happening?
a ring door.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I got to mute that for you.
You thought it was a wind chime?
Yeah.
I thought it was a wind chime.
I thought
too.
it was a wind chime. I was going to say,
Goes with my sign.
that's your time. We got to go.
No, it goes with my sign.
Oh, I got you.
I have lovely signs and music.
It's a weird thing that people would smuggle in stuff like that.
Well, Deppy, let me ask you: do you have like a Frank Abagnale like on staff, or like an ex-con who's like going over all these possible scenarios to be prepared for, or do you just figure it out as you guys go along?
It's a little bit of both. Not necessarily someone who is like a former convict or anything, but you got to remember some of these guys and girls who work in the jail, they've been there for 20, 25, 30 years. So they have just all that experience. They see things, they hear things. They're constantly trying to think of how can this be used in a bad way, because it's not just the contraband that they smuggle in or they get in. It's the wires for the tablets and anything that you give them. You have to really look it over to make sure there's no way that they can use it to harm themselves or others.
Has anything made a comeback? Like it was around in the 80s and it went away for a little bit. Now it's back.
Right now the big things are obviously tobacco. Always trying to get tobacco. I don't think that's ever gone away. Like ketamine, synthetic cannabinoids are real big.
Yeah.
Trying to get any synthetic marijuana in there. Those are the real big ones. And the people who put stuff inside themselves, they're smuggling in razor blades and all kinds of things. And that to me is crazy because I got bad luck. That thing would definitely find its way out and slice me on the inside.
Think so? And all of a sudden you'd have a perforated balloon knot
full of balloons.
Yeah, full of balloons.
Oh.
Yep.
A little off topic.
Mhm.
I have come to believe I can tell a lot about an area by how late their self checkouts are open. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So like certain Wegmans
Yes.
close their certain Wegmans. Not Wegmans by where I live in
However,
the fancy parts of town. But there are parts of town I'm hearing that they shut down the self-checkout at Wegmans at 10:30. And I have been to Walmarts, again, not by where I live, where they no longer allow you to use the self-checkout.
One of my Walmarts, they took them completely out.
Yeah. Right, because people were stealing so much, and
Target's taking them all out too. I heard.
Good. You know what?
All
in
the
a
time.
way,
not
in a
just
way,
the good side and the bad side.
I'm with you. You know what?
I don't work here.
Exactly. I'm sorry, Hurley. But I do. I do go. It sort of tells you about an area where you know what's going on in this part of town. What I may or may not want to be doing. Last night we had a story, and it's raised a couple of questions. It is out of Ohio, where they don't give DWIs, they give OVIs, operating vehicle intoxicated. I think it covers, I don't know if it's just alcohol, if it covers drugs as well for OVIs. But there's a guy there who racked up his 20th OVI. His first one was in the year of our Lord, 1974. And I said, I didn't think they gave those out in the 70s. I didn't think 51 years ago people were getting OV, DW, whatever. I just didn't think it was. I thought most of the time it was, the officers say, hey, listen, once you get home safe, I'm going to follow you home to your house. I'm sure there's people there that care about you. Let's just watch it behind the wheel. And you sort of, in that moment, sobered up pretty much. And he went home, and no one thought about it at all. And now we have that. But this guy got one in 1974. When did this sort become? Because I didn't even remember people getting them till the late 80s.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I started in 2006, so it's a little before my time, but my guess would be, it's always been on the books. And I've heard a lot of the stories, like you said, where it wasn't as big of a deal. My guess would be, depending on how severe what he did was he in a bad crash, right?
No.
Did he hurt somebody else? He was in a ditch or something?
None of them. They didn't give you details on any of the ones, right? Even the 70s. Currently, though, his 20th was because He was trying to drive the speed limit 35 and dropped down to 15, went back up to 35 and then back down to 15. So it kind of was like, hey, what's going on here?
Right. Drew a little attention to himself.
Yeah. Yep. And then when the officer on body cam says you reek of alcohol, he said this. I don't know if you're actually going to be able to hear it, because there's a dispatch radio that goes off. But he said,
"How many drinks have you had tonight? Because I'm getting a pretty strong smell of alcohol coming."
No, I think somebody drizzled beer in my car.
I think somebody drizzled beer in my car. And I think that's what happened. I do declare.
I went to Dairy Queen and had the beer drizzler.
Yeah, that one's right up there with finding something in someone's pocket and them saying, "Oh, these aren't my pants." Those are always my favorite one.
Yeah,
Swear, baby, it's not mine.
But DWI is still a thing, and now the laws the penalties are much harsher, and it's very expensive to have any of it. But I have wondered for years, because I know in New York State there has been, I don't want to say a push, but there's been talk I've heard of lowering the BAC, where it is now at 0.08 to 0.05.
That's been a rumor for a long time. I haven't seen anything officially, but there has been talk about that for a while. DWIs are a big deal, and a lot of people lost their lives for no good reason.
Right.
And the thing is, it was much worse when I started. It's still a very bad thing. It's very severe, but with the education that's going on out there, the bars are getting better about not over serving people. And you have ride shares, right? Uber, Lyft, all that stuff. And the kids today, they just don't go out for the most part without already having a plan.
Right. Yeah.
So that has significantly helped with the DWI issue, but it's still out there. We're still seeing it.
Remember when COVID came, all of a sudden now, like bars, like when they reopened, they started like closing earlier and earlier. I mean, has there been a significant drop off after midnight of DWIs since then because of that?
I mean, I don't have the exact numbers, but I would say there's been a drop. There's definitely been a drop, and COVID probably played a part in that. But I really think that the ride shares have changed a lot of it.
Big part of that. But I do wonder if a lot of us think we're okay, and we might be right at that 0.08. I think you can still get a driving while ability impaired while under a 0.08. Is that true?
True, because it goes by your ability to operate your vehicle,
right?
And if you're a super lightweight and it only takes a little one drink or a little bit, plus it's hard because you have to remember a lot of what gets people is if they're on prescription meds, and those medicines can definitely add to your intoxication, even if you've only had one drink, right? Or the standard what everybody says when they get pulled over: well, I've only had 2 drinks tonight.
But
right.
How many meds you got?
Really big.
The formula here.
So,
are you on Cymbalta, sir?
I say that we're getting into. I'll change it, because when I said it, everybody laughed at me. I said drinking season. They were like, "It's always drinking season, you idiot! Come on." But I'll say outdoor drinking season. The days are getting longer. We're heading into summer. The unofficial start of summer kicks off next week, and Memorial Day weekend.
Monday.
Yeah, a week from Monday, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So the Monroe County Sheriffs, I don't know if Deputy Hurley was thrilled about this or not, but we're gonna do the podcast on Sunday from Kevin's Garagio, and Kevin's gonna drink and occasionally blow throughout and see how many drinks before he could be arrested if he were behind the wheel of a car, right? Or having impounded. I just farted.
Right.
Sparty.
How many drinks before he has to stop being a dad? That's another question.
Well, and that's a good point. What you have to remember is it depends on what you're drinking.
Yes.
Right. So if you're drinking your standard, Budweiser or something like that, that's about 5% alcohol.
Yeah.
The rule of thumb is 2 of those within an hour will put you at, each one's 0.02. So it would take 4 of those in an hour to get you to 0.08.
Challenge accepted.
Now, if you're doing like an IPA or something stronger, it's going to take less. So,
right.
I think we're going to bring my female neighbor into this too, so we can kind of get both sides of the spectrum here.
The male, female. But and you don't mind hanging out with us?
Yeah.
Boy, there was the ringing and
It'll be super fun to sit there and watch everybody else drink and have
Well,
a
I'm
good
not
time.
drinking. I'll tell you that. I'm keeping it straight and narrow. You and me will be right there. Sober,
You and Bob.
I will be.
Kevin, I drink alone.
No, honestly, I think it'll be good. It'll be important for people to see, and we can have some good conversation about, the dangers of it and some things to watch out for.
Well, there's always been. I mean, we've even had
I'll do hopscotch too.
local politicians. Wasn't there a local politician not that long ago? Nice guy, who his car, he was pulling into his driveway or something and went up and off and into the weeds or something. And the police came out and he blamed his wife. And I think he was quoted as saying, hey, those female drivers. And then it turned out it was him. He was drunk. And that poor woman had to take the fall. But I just think that there's a lot of times that people, look, we talk about the guy who got 20 OVIs. How many times did he not get caught?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right. Think of how many times he didn't get caught.
Right.
And you sort of laugh at it. It's not. I had someone say to me recently, they think anybody who's arrested for DWI should be charged with attempted murder. Now, I think that's a little steep, but they have a point, and they are making a valid point that sometimes we kind of casually blow off. And again, with people not really knowing where 0.08 is for themselves, having Kevin and somebody else do it, because Kevin just likes to. Kevin's been bugging me to do this for like a year and a half now.
It's good information.
I'm saying it's good information, and I'm happy that Hurley is willing to come out and hang out.
Do we have to take Kevin's size into effect for this?
It can. So,
yeah.
but
blood alcohol by volume, right?
Studies have said that it shouldn't really matter. What'll happen is if he drinks a lot, right, and you hear about the tolerance and all that stuff, he'll be able to act less intoxicated or be able to cover it more, but you can't fake your blood alcohol level. And we all basically have the same amount of blood inside of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kevin's got a little bit more. No,
it's actually gravy.
Oh, is that what it is? No, but what I was thinking is that's a great thing that you just said, where people can act and therefore even themselves feel like, but I'm not drunk.
Right.
But if I get pulled over and I don't blow, I refuse to blow, I still can have my car impounded, right?
Yeah. So when you get your license, you sign saying that if a New York State police officer has probable cause to ask you to take the test, you will take the test. If you refuse, which you have the right to do, you automatically lose your license. There's a DMV hearing that you'll go to, but you pretty much lose your license for up to a year, and there's a significant fine that you have to pay for refusing.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like 6 months.
No, yeah, I think it was. I think it's
they
changed.
jacked it up.
Yeah.
That's winter. I don't have to drive.
So, all right. Well, Deputy Hurley, I'm very excited to be able to hang out with you in person and poke fun at Kevin while he gets drunk. And
absolutely, we'll have fun with him.
Get some good information. I think
we'll have him sing some songs and test his ability.
Well, that's the part that I want to see is
I
like
will
the roads.
I will sound better than Willie and Steve Perry.
Because you're mine. I'll walk the line. Watch this.
Well, what we'll do is, depending on how far we get, what's very interesting is, and this is why we do it this way, the ABCs, right? We'll tell you to do your alphabet. And the most important part of the alphabet is you can't sing it. Because even when you are blasted, for the most part, you can sing it. Your brain will sing because you've been doing it since you were 3, right? But to stop and say it slowly, that's when your brain has to focus and you have a hard time.
What if I get a guitar? Can I sing it then?
No. Well, yeah.
Do they ever?
You can do whatever you want.
Because I don't know if this is true. I almost feel like this is a bit of a myth. But do they ever make people say the alphabet backwards?
There are people who've done things like that. I personally never did that because it just seems dirty.
It does. I can't do it.
I feel like they make you start do the alphabet, but you got to start at P.
Okay.
So there are times they will have you start at like F or somewhere like that because your brain has to process and think about where you're going to do. But I never did it. I always just said start at A and go to Z, and if you couldn't do it, then that's an easy one.
If they said Z at the end, would that trip up the finish?
No, not with me.
Okay.
As long as you did the rest of it, fine.
That was impressive, actually.
Yeah,
right? The big question for Kevin is: are you going to eat before?
I don't know.
How much does that play into it?
A lot, and not. I know you got to go, but
no, we don't.
To make it.
No, he says he has to go. He's just
no. No, I'm paid by the hour. So when you eat even a little bit of food, it closes off your stomach so that the alcohol stays in there. And there's basically, not to get too sciencey, but there's 3 ways that your body absorbs the alcohol into your bloodstream. Your mouth, which is very little, your stomach, and then your intestines. Well, your intestines is a lot more surface area than your. So if that valve closes and keeps the alcohol in your stomach, you absorb it slower. If you don't eat, it gets into your intestines and you absorb it a lot faster. And that's why people get intoxicated quicker when they don't eat or on an empty stomach.
That makes a little more sense, right?
Maybe I'll have a Kit Kat.
Well, I mean, if you don't, it'll make a funner show, and we'll be able to show how quickly you get intoxicated.
Quickly you get intoxicated.
I'll do whatever you guys want. I'm an open. I'm easy. I'm go either way.
But every experiment needs a control. So who's going to be the control?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Maybe have one eat and the other one not.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Okay.
Why don't you bring Beth?
I'm not coming.
Nah, I know. It's so sad.
I got church, man.
Yeah, I get church. I know you got
so
church.
do I.
Yeah,
And your
okay.
church, by the way, I think is pretty close to his house.
Is it?
I believe so.
No, not that one.
Oh, okay.
No, not that one.
Well, Deputy Hurley, I'm excited to see you in person and
Absolutely.
hang out. And I can't wait to see how this goes. And thank you.
If you want to
Thank
bring the
to
wife,
Monroe
you're more
County
than
Sheriff's.
welcome to as well.
Sounds good. You got a pool? Can the kids hang out in the pool, or what are we talking here?
I have a pool, but it's not open yet.
Yeah, what good?
But I have plenty of circle that the kids can run around.
He's got plenty of circle toys, all kinds of things.
Perfect. Can't wait.
Yeah. Older kids to babysit the younger kids. It's all right.
Better.
I'll text you the address too.
All right. Well, Deputy Hurley, thank you. And I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. And be careful what you're sending to the Monroe County Jail because you don't want to get yourself arrested for their photocopy and stuff. Do you ever get lewd pictures, though? There's got to be lewd pictures that come through.
That's a good question. I'll have to ask.
I think once in a while.
Here's Miss Legs February.
No, I'm saying like, hey.
His wife must be sitting there. I got to ask on that one.
I don't sit and go through the mail.
Or, yeah, you could just take this. We don't even need to copy. Just take it.
All right, Hurley. Thank you.
All right, guys. See you Sunday.
See you Sunday. There you go.
The live listeners have responded. They definitely want you to try keystring Sunday.
Yes, I saw it. Keister, Bill, Vinny. Thank you. We will take a moment. We're going to try to see if we can track down
Fabian.
Yeah, Fabian. Fabian was a guy who damaged a Palmyra police car, and he's had no interaction with the Palmyra police, according to them. He drove from Pittsford out to Palmyra at like 5:55 on a Friday morning or a Saturday morning and damaged the car, and then turned around and did a little more damage. Can't be all that bad because it was only $1,500, and you basically sneeze hard enough on some of these cars. There's $1,500 worth of damage. So we're going to try to just see, because Danny brought up the theory I didn't even think of. It was great. Danny's learned his lesson. That's not nice. Danny learned his lesson, but we're going to attempt to get Fabian, and we'll do that right after this.
you ain't my cousin.
Yeah, listen to this. You ever hear this rocker? Oh, this is a Ranger, Danny.
I've gotta satisfy this itcher.
Wait, no.
There's only so much I can fake. Come and join me in the kitchen to partake in what I bake. Get your buzz on. Kitten buzz is beautiful. Get your buzz on. Kitten buzz is beautiful.
We're using this Sunday
Oh,
too.
definitely. Yeah. Danny, would you be, if somebody said to you, say, hey, listen, I wrote this song, and would you go and play on it?
Depends on who it is.
If you ain't buzzing, you ain't my cousin.
He's in Greece too. Maybe we get him to come out and do some live bump tunes for us. Little Joe doing Red Solo Cup.
Yeah, he's in Greece, isn't he? Or it's more of Irondequoit. I think he's Irondequoit.
Yeah.
Well, when you bring him, you got to bring his buddy too. So he comes with a crew, doesn't he?
I don't know.
That's another whole pack of hot dogs we're gonna add.
I have no idea. Kevin, speaking of alcohol, went and stocked up while in Massachusetts.
Yes, Trader Joe's in Massachusetts. There's a few stores that sell liquor,
Yeah.
and it's they have regular. You can get like Bullet Bourbon, or you can get
Okay.
whatever
So it's like
kind
a
of beer
liquor
you want. They
store.
sell Guinness, but they have liquor and they have a ton of wine.
And it's Trader Joe's brand,
There is a Trader Joe's brand as well, yes.
even for wine?
I don't believe they had what used to be like a $2 chuck back in the day.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was Trader Joe's branded. But the liquor, most of the liquor I bought is Trader Joe's branded.
That's amazing. I didn't, because I'm surprised that you don't hear more about it, because we've had it. Like I've tasted it at your house. I can't tell. You threw some Irish whiskey. What was it like? Redhead.
The two gingers?
The two gingers. I knew there was something redhead. That's all I can remember.
Well, because typically
But
I'm not drinking. I don't usually drink the Irish whiskey straight. I mean, I will from time to time.
But I can't
instead
tell.
of buying a $50 bottle of Jameson, I'm gonna buy an Irish whiskey. When I'm mixing it, it's Irish whiskey.
I couldn't tell you, because I've done lots of Jameson shots, and I've had Jameson and ginger.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
If you gave me what was that? Two gingers?
Two gingers?
Yeah, two gingers and ginger. I can't tell the difference. It's so I always think people are full of shit when they go, oh, I absolutely can tell. I'm like, maybe you can. I can't.
Well,
my palate's
one of the
shot.
You couldn't tell the difference between regular and fake Guinness.
I couldn't.
Remember?
Yeah, I got it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of the bottles I bought was a small batch, 10-year aged Trader Joe's branded vodka that I want to test on Greg to see if he can tell the difference between that and Grey Goose.
I didn't know they aged vodka like that. I'm just sure it's got to be a little bit brown then if they aged it.
It wasn't. It's crystal
clear?
Yeah.
I wonder what so they didn't do it in a barrel.
I don't
That's
know.
usually the oak is what you're getting at. Because I think all spirits are clear. It's the aging and the stuff that does it. So that bottle,
the Trader Joe's vodka?
Yeah. Do you know the price of just that bottle?
I do. You want to play Price is Right?
I do want to play Price is Right because I'm curious. I would say that bottle.
And it's labeled small batch limited edition.
Yeah. Small batch limited edition. Geez, I'm thinking, but it's Trader Joe's. But that's not cheap though. And they own all.
I'll say $59.95.
It seems too high.
Okay.
To me, I was going to say if you told me $47, that's a pretty good deal because it's the limited batch. I'm going to go even lower. I'm going to say $39.99.
$9.99.
Wow. That's funny.
Yeah.
Why? The fuck are they doing? Like, seriously. Well, all right. So what else did you get?
So I'll give you the rundown of what I bought.
Okay.
There was 3 bottles of wine, which was Carrie's.
Yeah.
I bought 4 packs of they're not seltzers, but we'll call them seltzers.
Yeah.
They're called Boardwalk seltzers.
Okay.
2 packs were blue slushy and 2 were pink lemonade.
Okay.
Pink
And you
lemonade
bought
was
4 of
delicious.
those?
Yep. I bought 17 bottles of Irish whiskey.
17 bottles of Irish whiskey. Why?
Because it's good and it's cheap. and I like it. And I don't get to Massachusetts very often.
17 bottles of Irish whiskey.
So the guy, when I said you got a case of this, the guy looked at me like, "You serious?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, bring it on."
Hell yeah, bring it on.
Also, can you bring us a wheelbarrow to load to the car?
I'll send you the picture of my cart in a minute.
Okay.
I bought a bottle of sake, which I had never really tried other than at Hibachi.
Yeah.
Because it was relatively expensive. I bought 4 bottles of Trader Joe Bailey's.
Yeah.
I had to look at the picture. I don't think I'm missing anything, but it's possible.
I would say, I'm going to say 225. $220
$2 worth of alcohol?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, don't forget, there's 17 bottles.
Yeah. I'm saying
$225.
I'll say 270.
Okay.
My total with everything, and there was a couple extra things in there, like Tyler wanted some candy. We bought a candle. Was $428.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. The 17 bottles of whiskey are throwing me because I can't figure out.
That's my cart.
Yeah. I can't figure out what the.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Send me that picture.
They were like $11 a bottle.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was going on a $9 thing.
Is there a reason why they
17.
can't sell it in New York State?
Yeah, because you can't sell in the
grocery
inside
stores.
the grocery store.
But you can't but here's the Costco has its own little like liquor store.
That's
It's
not
separate.
a Costco liquor store though.
Yeah,
it's a separate entity. It's not Costco.
considered-
Oh, I'll be dipped.
I think you can get Costco vodka and stuff.
They
in
do
there.
sell some of the Costco stuff in there, but it's not a Costco brand.
No, they did a thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Still wrap around. It's just at this point. Come on.
New York.
Well,
New York.
look, the tough part is if you own a liquor store, you don't want it, and I understand why. Right? It makes sense
Because you're going to walk to Wegmans and not go to the liquor store.
I wouldn't, because food and wine pairings. Why am I going to you?
Right.
Maybe I would go for the harder stuff because it's usually just beer and wine that's in the grocery stores. Usually, I think in most places. I thought that's what they were trying
Florida's full on
It
everything.
is?
Yeah,
It
Florida's
is?
full on
to do.
everything.
I don't remember that.
Vegas is full on everything. I remember Vegas being full on everything.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, it'll be interesting to see if the laws ever change. And man, it would be places like Wegmans would do phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
with that, right?
Well, look
They
at
do
Century. I mean,
Yeah, they bought Century.
They did it on yes.
Yeah.
They're planning ahead. Try to call this guy Fabian. Fabian was in the Times of Wayne County. I don't know much about this guy at all. Most people know because he didn't have a record or anything, but he went out and damaged the Palmyra police car at 449 or no, 449. I don't know what I'm saying. I think it wasn't the price you paid.
428.
428. At 555 on a.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. The number you dialed has been changed.
Give it one more try. Make sure I didn't.
No, I think he probably gave he probably got wind. It's a weird thing because it's hard to find
Welcome
people.
to Verizon Wireless.
It's hard to find people nowadays, right? For that kind of stuff. So you never know.
Mhm.
You never know
Yeah.
what's going on. But that was a great theory you had on that guy.
That could be true. We'll find out.
No, I do think it is true. I don't know if we'll ever find out, but I think it would be true. You know what? You could always call the Palmyra police.
Yeah.
Find out what's happening there.
Hey, who's your PIO officer?
The police.
Some are have police or are they sheriff out there?
I think no Palmyra police. Yeah, because that's what he did. He went out and damaged their car. That's why we're thinking that there was some kind of, nefarious act going on there between the police officer and his wife or girlfriend or
Police
something.
officer, she was checking his blood alcohol content a different way.
Yes,
Yeah.
blowing this, ma'am.
Huh.
It happens.
It does.
happens.
I know.
Danny, I saw a story today and I thought of you, and I was going to save it a little bit if Fabian did come on. But it's a whole thing. It's a study published in this month. It's neurology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Study the mind and the nerve system.
Researchers found a link between lingering fatigue and TIAs, commonly known as mini strokes. And they went, why do I think if I did this whole story on the podcast that you'd be like, I think I got.
Well, I haven't felt fatigued, so I don't think I've had any TIAs recently.
Okay. Nothing.
Not that I'm aware of.
And the watch has
Coming soon.
No, I check my watch every day to see if I had any incidents with AFib, and I haven't had it in a couple of years. Praise God.
Okay.
Yeah.
A couple years?
I haven't had an AFib incident.
When was
in
the
about 2 years.
AFib that you had?
It was like 2020, April of 2023. They said there's 3 types of AFib. There's the AFib that only goes like a week. There's an AFib that goes on for like comes and goes, and there's the AFib that like lasts forever until you have like a catheter put in your heart to fix it. I had the AFib that lasted a week, but you still got to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
So I had it for 3 or 4 days, and it was in the morning. It was like early in the morning.
How did it feel?
I didn't notice it. I woke up and my phone told me I had it.
Oh, okay.
That's the weird part.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, my heart will just like pick up and flutter for no reason.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think the feeling is like.
It scares you, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, why is my heart pounding out of my chest for no reason? Oh, I'm watching the Bills. No, for real. Like they just sometimes that just happens. So that's what it feels like. But as far as like TIAs and stuff, yeah, you got to like check that out. I mean, if you look, chronic fatigue is not supposed to be something that I'm just used to it. Oh, I'm just getting old. No, there's a reason why you feel the way you do. And if it's a lack of sleep, then that's probably why. But if it's like stress, your cortisol goes up, all of a sudden you're not taking care of yourself, you're taking care of everybody else instead. That's how it all happens. So what do? You eat poorly, and then it just becomes a vicious cycle.
Weakness, numbness, or paralysis in the face, arm, or leg, often on the side of the body, vision loss, blurred vision, double vision, difficulty seeing in one or both eyes, trouble speaking, difficulty finding words, or slurred speech. That's Kevin on Sunday. Hey, I think Kevin's having a stroke. How would we know? Confusion or trouble understanding others, severe headache without a known cause.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's every headache.
Well,
unless you've been drinking like Kevin plans to on Sunday.
97% of my headaches are wife or child related.
Difficulty walking, swallowing, reading, or writing, tingling in half.
Yeah, I thought I had a stroke once. It turned out to be a complex migraine.
Okay.
That's what, like, my brother-in-law is like, yeah, he's a doctor. He goes, yeah, you need to go to the emergency room. But they checked it out, and they go, you're probably going to have a few more of these. So don't panic when you do.
Yeah.
So, of course, the next time I have one, I got to go to the doctor. They goes me to the doctor.
Does your speech go and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I had that a little bit. I went in.
Yeah, your speech, like one side of your...
That was at Mulconnery's.
No, it wasn't. We were doing a show together. And
I remember that.
yeah.
You had like an issue in your heart.
Yeah.
I had to bring, you're like, no, we're going to finish the show. I'm like, well, we got like 4 hours to go, bro. And then I tell Tommy, I think Billy had a stroke. Get out of here. Yeah, he does sound a little different, doesn't he? So and then like afterwards, then Berkeley Breed calls up and goes, hey, do you mind if I do a story about you guys? And like, I forgot, somebody was swearing on the air, something stupid like that. So he wanted to cover like what happens if you swear on the air. And they showed me hitting the dump button in case somebody swears. I don't remember what the story was that Berkeley did. Yeah, we can do it. So he's interviewing you, and like Bill Moran is a Rochester shock jock with Rochester sensibility. Yeah, I've been doing this a long time. And like Berkeley has no idea that you may have had a stroke.
I didn't know.
Then we brought you to Strong. There's construction on Mount Hope. I go, you sure you don't want to just go to Highland? It's like right around the corner. No, I'm going to Strong.
I ironed my shirt today. I'm going to Strong.
I did. I ironed my shirt.
And next day Billy was out of action.
Yeah.
They
kept me overnight.
You had a heart issue.
They thought I had a leak.
Yeah.
I didn't have a leak.
They found he had a heart.
They found I had a heart. That was the thing. I forgot about that. Somebody who we went called Damn 315er.
Yeah, Dave
reached out, and he wants to have a bunch of the people who used to watch on the Ustream.
Is that still a thing? Is Ustream still alive?
I don't know, but we had like back in early 2000s, we had like, I don't know, 40, 50 people that would watch.
We had the worst camera, but it worked. It was like a Logitech camera.
And he wants to get a bunch of those people together.
Okay.
My kid works as an assistant typist for the Wayne County DA. She probably did the paperwork course. She would never speak of it, even to mom. My kid? I don't know what that means. Assistant typist.
Maybe there's somebody who could help out with the Fabian situation.
Hang on a second. Oh, that's true. As an assistant typist. What is an assistant typist in 2025? Can someone explain to me?
They still have the stenographers in the court.
No, I get that. But an assistant typist? The Wayne County DA. Forgive me, Kevin. I missed that part. But assistant?
Well, yeah.
Somebody's got to hold the paper.
Got a lot of paperwork.
Somebody's got to ink that son of a bitch up.
Anybody following this Diddy trial? because they're painting him as a swinger, his defense team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's
I
got
haven't
swinger
watched them.
lifestyle and all this. I've just been seeing highlights, but I want to get somebody on who can talk about the Diddy trial, what's coming. I think there's supposedly some big celebrities supposed to be brought in soon. I don't know.
So, did you hear the Dave Chappelle bit about the Diddy stuff?
No.
When he was on Saturday Night Live when he hosted, he goes, "People ask me because I'm Dave Chappelle if I've ever been to a Diddy party, and I come out, you know what goes on there, right?" It's like, no, I don't. And then I realized why. I'm too ugly. They won't invite me.
Wait, here it is. Here, oh, yeah, let's see if I got Dave here. There you go. Hang on. Yeah, here it is.
But man, let me tell you something. This guy Puffy, buddy, this guy is in an enormous amount of trouble. I've never.
This is funny. The Rico.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. They got this guy in a RICO case by himself.
That's funny.
Five of my friends asked me. They say, "Dave, did you know anything about those freak off parties?" I'd be like, "Nah, man. I didn't know anything about freak off." And they all look at me like. And they'd be like, "Well, how all these people you know was at the freak off, but she's the only one that wasn't at the freak off?" And I thought about it for a minute. I said, "Oh my God. I'm ugly."
It's pretty good. Chappelle never disappoints.
No.
Right? It's like it never disappoints. It's almost he makes it look so easy and logical and it's smooth.
Yeah, a lot of personification.
Yeah,
you can like put a face to it.
Right.
Like remember when he like in 2016 when Trump got elected, he hosted that Saturday Night Live just coincidentally. So then 4 years later, like when Biden got elected, all right, we're waiting for Chappelle. We gotta get the Notre Dame game over with. We gotta get to Chappelle, and Chappelle like did this monologue, and people were like, "Huh, this is not what we expected."
Yeah,
because they thought that he was just gonna like make fun of Trump or do whatever. And it wasn't like that at all. No. It was, he's more like, it's not what we got to like start paying attention to more stuff. Like, don't just take everything at face value was kind of the message. And people were like, well, wait a second. Is this the same Dave Chappelle from 4 years ago?
Some people think he's cloned.
Yes. Jim Brewer thought that.
Jim Brewer says he's cloned.
Thinks he's cloned. He told Roseanne that. He thought he was cloned.
Jim Brewer, who I love Jim, but come on, man.
He's gone off the deep end.
I know. Yeah, he has. Why?
I don't know. Him and Dave did a movie together back in the day.
Yeah, he's saying he's not the same guy after he went to Africa. After Dave went to Africa, back, but went there on some trip or after the Chappelle show. Kind of whatever. He didn't accept the new contract or he turned down all that money. And he's like, yeah, he's not the same guy. It's not him.
Maybe you got that African AIDS over there.
I don't know. All right. Shall we take a break?
And now we have confirmed that it was a receptionist or secretary administrative assistant for Vinny's kid.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I didn't mean to do it. Assistant typist. I just hadn't heard that term. That sounds like something
My kid's an assistant typist.
Sounds like something from Mad Men.
He's been drinking. I mean? He's probably been drinking, so he probably voice spoke it and it said receptionist.
All right, we will take a moment. Kevin's got a game, Danny.
All right.
Sharpen up, buddy. I'm coming back.
All right, here we go.
It's all next. over the curve, but this is the Stones.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear this song. I hadn't heard it in a while.
Yeah, I can tell. You know what? You know what really gave it away to me? Not the guitar.
Charlie Watts drum beat.
The jazz style. He does that.
Yeah, I added this one. There was 2 others I had on there, and I just added this one because I'm like, I haven't heard in a while, and I want to hear it.
Who's the drummer now?
A guy named Waddy. I think it's Waddy. I might be saying it wrong. He might be the bass player. It was whoever was in the drummer in the
It's Keith
Expensive
Richards.
Winos.
Yeah, because you were telling me about it when you were looking at that album.
I think it's Waddy Wachell. I might be saying his name wrong. The last name wrong. No. So Waddy's the bass player. That is true. Waddy Wachell. I don't remember. It's like Jordan somebody. Jordan somebody is the drummer, right? And he was with the Expensive Winos, which is always one of my favorites. And there's another one that people can't stand. Like I guess what I must have some shitty odd taste in music because I do love that stuff.
Tom Waits.
Yeah, like Tom Waits,
Willie and Steve Perry, Steve Jordan, the drummer.
Steve
for
Jordan. No, I knew there was Jordan. Okay, that's right. Steve Jordan.
That's why I named his kid Jordan. He knew.
Yeah, I
die one day.
knew coming in. I talked to my son Jordan today.
How's he doing?
Good. I don't know if I can talk about what he's doing, but yet anyway. But he's I think he's excited about it. And I keep trying to say to him, and I don't it's hard when you are the person because all you can see is what's right in front of you. And you can't see the proverbial 10,000 foot view. But I have tried to say to my guys, especially Jordan, who's very bright and had a lot going. And I said, don't get yourself locked down in a job at 23 years old. And he's working on his master's. But go and I said, dude, I wouldn't care if you decided to do what people I had met in the early 90s did. They spent their summers in Martha's Vineyard and their winters operating ski lifts in Utah. And they were like waiters and waitresses in Martha's Vineyard. I go, can you imagine 23? You're in the hottest places with the richest fucking people, celebrities once in a while popping in and out. You're a good looking, young, in shape guy. You get that. It's a fucking window that closes. That window will close.
Yes,
do you
it will.
understand what I'm saying? Like it just does. And I'm
Not for us pretty people. It doesn't.
no, I'm not even saying that. I don't even mean it like that. But what happens, Kevin? You have kids, and now you're running. There's parties this weekend. Laura's party is this weekend. We'll have full coverage of that. But Kevin, can I say,
Sure.
may not be able to go because his son
Tyler qualified for the individual Section 5 tournament for golf.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that impressive?
That is cool.
That's impressive as hell.
Is that at Ravenwood?
No,
it's,
they moved it.
Mill Creek.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
Mill Creek's a good course.
what an
I
impressive.
wouldn't know. I don't play.
Yeah, I was going to say I wouldn't know. I know Ravenwood. I'm not familiar with Mill Creek, but that's an impressive thing. But you go your kids, right?
Yeah.
Jordan right now my son doesn't have that. It will end. You will eventually something, or you'll just get So, but he's been wrapped up in this job and blah blah blah, and what's going to happen? And I go, buddy. I sent him something. I sent him a thing.
Get paid, get laid.
Is that what you sent him?
Yeah, pretty much. No, I didn't.
Are you still with that girl?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I guess
It's almost a year.
So half it's
Or maybe it is a year.
I couldn't answer that.
Well, we went to a Red Wings game a year ago with her.
That was August.
That was August. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're getting there.
Yeah, we are.
So you spent most of the time talking to the professor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, she started
Well,
dating.
by the
He
way-
started dating her 10 minutes before he left for St. Louis.
Yes, he did. And then I get a call. Did I ever tell you that?
She's pregnant.
No. Jesus, Kevin, no. I get a call saying, hey, Dad, what's going on? And I go, oh, nothing. He goes, I'm here with your favorite person. And I go, okay. And I hear, hi, Mr. Moran. I can't remember this girl's name. She was lovely.
Didn't
I
she
took
come to
them
Thanksgiving?
Yes, but this is prior to that. Yeah, they went, hot and heavy fast. Whatever. I don't give a shit. as long as everybody's happy.
Mhm.
But yes, he does have a girlfriend. But this job thing, and I sent him a thing just saying your 20s should be your time to experiment and make mistakes. And by that I mean take the job that would be fun or adventurous. Travel. Make your friends somewhat more of a priority than maybe anything else at the time. Give yourself a time to hang out. Find the things you like to do. Right? Maybe you love working out. Great. Maybe you like to read. Maybe you'll find music. Take a pottery class. I don't fucking know. Just go and explore and be, because that window will close.
Yes.
It opens up again.
Yeah.
But at that point, you might have a hip replacement and a knee replacement, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it will open up again, because there will be a time where, I mean, gosh, my grandmother was alone from the early 90s all the way for at least 50, well, not 50 years, but probably like 30 years.
Wow. Okay.
Where she was living on her own, never got involved in another relationship, but she traveled and did things. So the window will open up again, but it's not the same.
No, it's not the
you
same.
don't look the same. Yeah. You don't have the same
youth
energy.
is wasted on the young
Yes,
for a reason.
yes. And that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't know. Do you do
Let's
that
try to
with your
reverse
kid?
the process.
Not yet.
Not yet. Well, he's still in college, so
I
there's
keep just telling him, get a job. I don't care what you do. Get a job. Flip burgers, sell ass in a truck shop. I
Right.
don't care. Get a fucking job.
Well, I know that he gets, he'll say to me, well, I'll hear things back that say, well, he said, you said. And I go, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Because he was asking me, he had 2 job things, right, that were kind of coming. One that he's at could be a possible promotion. One, because he didn't really like the hours and some of the other crap that was going on. And he was going to move. And he said to me, which one should I do? What should I do? I don't even know what to do. And I said to him, this is what I said. I said, you have to think about which one sort of ignites a passion in you the most. It just has to be a little bit more than the other.
Mm-hmm.
They could both kind of suck, but if this one ignites, then go enjoy the shit out of it. Do that job to the best of your ability and don't worry about the outcome. Because when we start playing for an end game, that's when we go, well, I'm not hitting my goals. Stop. The whole key to sales is you. It is not anything. It is you. If people like you, they'll buy it. Be authentically yourself. Give yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about the car salesman that goes, you know what? You're right. I can get that thing taken off and we'll work with you on this.
Yeah.
That's off. That's somebody. I like that
I went
guy.
back to my
I'll
sales
fucking buy that
manager,
guy. Yeah.
And my jaw
No, but see, even
hit
then-
the floor, man. I can't believe they're going to practically give you this car.
See, that's kind of shitty. But I've had a sales guy go, you know what? You're right. We'll just take that right out without even hesitation.
No problem.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
wonderful. Those are the types of people. All right. I'm sorry. I'm rambling. Kevin's got a game.
Hey, something happened at Roberts Wesleyan recently? Were they in the news or something?
I don't know. My son did graduate.
Yeah,
there.
that's
He was
why I
on
asked.
their
I was
track team, but I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I didn't know much.
FLCC had a bomb scare.
Yes, they did. They had a,
Seriously?
yeah.
They caught the kid right away, too.
They did?
Yeah.
Where the fuck? What did this dumbass? Okay. There
Was it
were-
exam week?
This is again. Was it really? Wow.
Man, I'm nailing it today.
This is ridiculous. What? You're in college. Yeah. What did he do? Send an email?
I don't know. I just know.
How do you get caught?
I just know they caught him immediately.
Just like I remember.
I feel like I heard they caught him outside.
Was he
Like
threatened?
he evacuated the building and they caught him outside. I don't know if that's true or not. I feel like that's what I heard.
Okay.
We had bomb threats when I was in college.
Well, I don't remember
During midterms week. There was 5 bomb threats, 1 a day.
If we did, nobody
And I
did
got
anything.
suspended from the college radio station because I said the next time there's a bomb threat, something on this campus better fucking blow up. I don't care if it's the freshman hall, something better fucking blow up. This is bullshit. Grow up and take an exam.
Well, we had a guy who ended up being the associate mayor of East Rochester, but he got kicked out of school, or he got kicked out, and then he got allowed to come back. He threatened a professor of ours that you and I both had, and threatened to kill her and her ferret.
She had a ferret?
She had a pet ferret. Yeah. And yeah.
I don't remember
That led to a bunch of controversy.
I don't remember
over
that.
a grade. No,
Yeah.
I was a senior when this happened.
Okay, so I was long gone. But I remember as a kid, there were bomb threats to Pine Plains, Stissing Mountain Junior, Senior High School fairly regularly. Even fairly regularly enough that
I remember back in the day, they didn't even tell you. It was just a bomb threat.
No.
You didn't evacuate school.
We had to evacuate. We all had to stand on the front lawn and do all this stuff. And in came the state police with the dogs, and they're sniffing. And it turned into field days, especially if the weather was nice. If the weather was nice, right? And I remember that. And I'm going, but they never caught who did it because we didn't have the technology. Now, you fucking morons, you don't do that.
So somebody,
I think you don't do it.
In my Hick school, we knew that if there was a fire drill in the middle of February, we knew it had to be a real fire, especially when the truck showed up.
Yeah.
And when the truck showed up, like, oh, school's burning. We off today. And somebody decided to take the paper dispenser and take all the paper towels, let them go all the way to the floor, light it on the bottom, and then ran out of the bathroom. The thing eventually caught fire inside the paper machine. The school starts smoking. Like you could see a black cloud of smoke.
That's just so frustrating for the school. I remember I just saw something where one of the schools, some kid got sent to the hospital because he got burned by his Google Chromebook caught on fire.
Yeah, well, that's a TikTok challenge
thing.
now. Stick pencils and start the computer on fire.
Motherfucker!
I'm not joking.
I knew it.
Beth told me about that today.
Okay. I swear to God, I'm sorry. I know we'll get to the game. I saw this story, just the headline, and it's a local story. And it goes Google Chrome. And I go, now we're going to have people saying, oh, they can't have to go. I go, it's one.
Google
it's
Chrome,
one.
set your school on fire.
It's one. It's one. And then I found out now there's a TikTok because I'm like, pretty hard for a computer. They got to be old. You got to be really taxing it.
No, you stick the metal in the charging port and you see if you get the thing to smoke.
Yeah, well,
it's been going on for like 2 or 3 weeks.
We know a guy. I think Phil Sherman had like a Note 9 or something that like blew up in his pocket.
Yeah, but that's a Note 9, and it's Phil.
Yeah,
He's Phil Billy. I mean, we get that. All right, Kevin, give us the game.
What's the game? How does this work?
The music.
Okay,
5 points, and 10 if you get it in the hole.
Okay.
All right, for the year. Kevin's got this little music all up.
Sounds like the theme from.
Yeah.
Striking out, work out me in.
Got it.
I'm gonna stand right by your side through thick or thin. Ain't no doubt.
I'll give you 5 free charges.
A walk through hell ain't bad compared to where we've been.
Oh, you can depend on me.
Over and over.
Love this song.
Saturday in the park. I think it was the 4th of July. Saturday in the
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I could teach you.
This was coming out on Sunday too.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I could teach you, but I have to charge. You want it? The thing.
Probably get this all wrong.
Finally, I figured out, but it took a long, long time. Now there's a turnabout, maybe because I'm trying. There's been time, I'm so confused on my road to leave you. Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John Brown come for you? Tell me what you gonna do? Yeah.
Tonight we're gonna make it happen. Tonight we'll put all other things aside.
I can't tell you, baby, what went wrong.
Love this band.
Fuck.
I can't make you feel.
Ah, it's one or two.
You felt so low.
Poison will not play with this band anymore because they consistently blew him off the stage.
I can't give you.
And on the next one, I will give you 5 for each of the artists. There's multiple artists, and 5 for the movie title.
Where's all my soul sisters? Let me hear your flow, sisters.
Hey, sister, go, sister, soul, sister,
Okay.
flow, sister.
It's almost your dancing is almost as gay as the together sign.
She said, hello, hey Joe, you wanna give it a go? Get you, yeah, yeah,
I can see her, and I cannot come up with a fucking name.
There's 5 of them.
No, I know, but I can't come up with any. But there's one.
I'll give 1 for each artist. 5 points for each artist on this one as well.
I don't know. I was going.
Never heard the song before in my life.
Saxophone.
You have
There's
heard
not
this
a lot.
song.
Yeah, I said over and over. 1986. I don't know who it was though.
I said 83.
It is from 1985. It's You're a Friend of Mine from Clarence Clemens
Yes.
and Jackson Brown.
Ah. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Chicago, Saturday in the Park, 1976.
2 out of 3.
I said Saturday in the Park. I got the band wrong. I did not say Chicago. I said Steely Dan. 1978.
It's Saturday in the Park from Chicago from 1972.
Oh. So I get. Wait, what was the first one? What year?
85.
It's better than yours, damn right. It's better than
Uh,
yours. I could teach you, but I have to
Go ahead, Danny, because
I'm going to say it's Milkshake, Pussycat Dolls, 2002.
It is.
I said Milkshake, Fergie, 2006.
It is Milkshake from Kellis in 2003.
Okay.
I only got 5.
So I got 8 right now.
I don't know who this is.
Sister Hazel, All For You, 1997.
I knew the band. I could sing every word. I couldn't come up with that. I said 1998.
Danny is in the hole.
Fuck.
So I get 10
I just
points.
lost. I just fucking
But
lost.
so if I get the year right, I get another 10.
5,
Yes.
5, and 10. Yes.
Okay. For the longest time, people thought that was the Bare Naked Ladies. And it
No,
wasn't.
I knew that.
Bad Boys, Inner Circle, 1991.
I wrote Bad Boys Inner Circle 1995.
Bad Boys Inner Circle 1987.
Oh, wow. Okay. So Excited, Pointer Sisters, 1984.
It's Jesse Spano.
That's what I thought of was too. But
It is the Pointer Sisters.
It is the Pointer Sisters.
I said Tonight, 1986.
I'm So Excited from the
Yes,
Pointer
that's
Sisters from 1982.
so I don't get points because I said So Excited. Not I'm So Excited.
No, you do not.
Doesn't matter.
Is this Warrant?
It
No.
is not Warren.
It is not Warrant. I said it's Cinderella. Am I wrong?
You are correct with Cinderella.
I can't remember.
Heaven Isn't Too Far Away.
No,
That is Warrant.
that's Warrant. I said 1987.
What went wrong? It's Don't Know What You Got
Yeah,
Till It's Gone.
mother-
Cinderella from 1988.
I got the year close.
God damn, I'm always off by one on the fucking year.
So the movie is Moulin Rouge.
Correct. I'll give you 5 for that.
Okay.
The song is Lady Marmalade.
I'll give you 5 for that.
I said, who's the blonde chick that I can't come up with?
Pink.
No, I said
Pink.
No.
You're thinking of Christina Aguilera.
Yes, it is what I am thinking.
So I had Christina Aguilera
I
and
have-
Pink, and then this Nicolette chick from. But I forgot her last
Oh
name.
yeah.
It is Lady Marmalade, Christina Aguilera, Lil Kim, Maya, and Pink.
And the year was
The
1999.
year was 2001.
Okay. I had 54 points total.
I don't even know what I had.
Bill had 54 and a half.
No, I didn't. I think I had like 30 or something. I don't know.
There's no Joe Picato in that mix, huh?
No.
I was going. There's not a lot of songs with sax. Like there is, but I mean,
I did a whole theme that was sax.
no. But I know, but where sax is this prominently featured.
Well, it's
Unless
Clarence
it's Clarence Clemens, and I'm going, but it wasn't Bruce, so it wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't clicking to me, and I forgot. But
Solo
again,
Clarence.
I know this. That's Clarence singing there. Yeah,
Jackson Brown picks up the second.
yeah.
So in 2012, the Grammys were supposed to do a Clarence Clemens tribute because he had just died. Then Whitney
is Jackson
Houston
Brown.
dies the night before, so they have to they just ditched him
Yeah.
and just focused the entire show around Whitney.
Yeah, well, I mean,
We have to.
She was bigger than he was.
Well, yeah, of
In
course.
Pop, in, pop culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I bet Clarence is a.
That's what I've always
Fuck
thought. We were thinking about it. Of all the artists from the 80s and 90s, who's the next one that's going to go that's going to get that Michael Jackson treatment where MTV may actually throw on some videos? And my thought was Madonna.
It's a good one.
Has she released any music recently?
I don't know.
But I think you bring back all the old videos and stuff
yeah,
like that
I mean,
for
you go back to the
half a
80s.
day.
The hit.
Yeah.
Like
Well, she was an icon.
pioneer then, sort of.
I would
of
think maybe
MTV.
the Mick, but they don't have a ton of videos.
No,
They weren't from that video era.
The wall-to-wall coverage. That's great.
Rod Stewart.
You would get
I like
wall-to-wall coverage for the Stones, but you wouldn't get MTV to play videos.
No. Well, they may be waiting on a friend or something. Yeah, they're probably not.
Calling out around
I'm
the
thinking
world.
Bruce. Yeah, that was a shitty. I love that though.
This happened, and we let it happen.
Bruce not a bad thought.
Bruce, I could see because Bruce had Dancing in the Dark, Tunnel of Love. Those were videos I made.
But like from that video
Well, they
era,
didn't
I could
do-
think Madonna.
I don't remember Petty getting a lot of, but I didn't
No.
watch MTV.
I don't think.
He had videos. I mean,
Yeah,
Mary
but I don't
Jane's
think
Last
Petty
Dance.
was that icon status that Madonna was.
No. Not in pop
No.
culture. No,
Or like a Michael Jackson was.
Michael Jackson.
Where like when they
Prince,
released a record, it immediately went to #1 all the time.
yeah, I
Like
can't
even
think of-
Taylor Swift, I don't think she has video. She's not in that video era.
She does.
You would get
but there
wall to
are-
wall if she, for some reason,
Yes.
passed, but
Yeah.
you wouldn't get MTV playing a Taylor Swift video.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Something to think about.
Metallica
Chew
or
on that.
GNR.
Big party weekend. It's both our friend Greg Connors and Laura's Bash.
The Greg Connors one is open to anybody as well. If you want to come out supporting the Equine Center, it's
Oh,
an
the
Iron
Equine
Smoke
Center is a nice
Saturday
thing.
night.
Yeah,
What time? 7 o'clock? 8 o'clock?
It's with Trist playing.
Tris is playing. Yep.
You'll see Greg Connors. You can touch his hair for an extra $5.
Oh, no kidding. Get a picture with him in the NFL schedule for 10.
No pictures.
Get it
No
signed for 20.
pictures. Hey, we're gonna throw you out of here. Take any pictures. Yes. What time is that one?
I think it starts at 8.
Yeah, usually 8 o'clock.
But if you get there at 7, you can have a drink.
Downbeat at 8 o'clock. No roast this year, huh?
No.
Okay.
Embarrassing.
I was trying to talk Greg into reversing it and having him roast you this year.
Yeah, no.
People like, who?
Yeah, we'll just. Yes, exactly. Yeah, we'll do. There's some things in the works.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. For Christian Day to crush me again, and did say the Bills will be favored in every game
this year.
I'm not.
I said there's no
He said as
I go,
of now.
I go.
It
There's,
could change.
Yes, it could. Well, it
When
could.
Josh Allen breaks his leg,
Shut
second week of preseason.
up!
if that happens, the season's over.
Yeah,
The season's
it's-
freaking
Kevin,
over.
Forget it. We're getting the number 1 draft pick.
Oh
You
gosh.
kidding me?
I would have to drop what I'm doing with any of my children playing hockey. I'd have to drive to Greg's to give him a hug if Josh Allen broke his leg.
Well,
And he'd probably kick my ass.
better you.
Dick.
Show up in all your Patriots gear.
He'd call me a dick.
Joe Buck called it that the Bills would win the Super Bowl this year.
Joe Buck did?
Joe Buck said
Oh, shit.
out of nowhere,
All right.
Buffalo Bills. And when they asked Troy Aikman, he goes Dallas.
Yeah. All right, Kevin, another great game. All an interesting story about the hotel and the power people go on and the liquor, and we're getting ready to drink on Sunday. Thank you to Deputy Hurley. I'm Bill Moran. We'll see you from Kevin's Garagio next show, next episode. That's what
It's California, baby, things have gotten worse. It's a land of opportunity. For me, it's just a curse. Tell that judge he make us feel. My title have to wait. Down here, they're looking for a cat.